Dear students, the topic which I am going to take up today is air pollution. You know that air is having oxygen, which is the gas which keeps the survival of so many creatures and vegetation surviving on the earth. So, you know these days it is being endangered by the activities of the human beings. So, one of the activities of human beings which is the most premier and old time activity is mining, that the metals could not have come to existence vividly unless and until its ore would have been found. In primitive time, in the past time, in the old time, I am to say in the oldest, when the evolution of human life started on the earth. After that, incidentally it happened so that when a man was heating the iron ore in the charcoal flame, the material became very tough and it was shining like steel by rubbing, and it became so tough that it was able to pierce or make a dent even on stone. So, that was the first starting of the identification of iron ore and of course, the energy of source coal. But these two, probably that was the first time the metal came in existence, the steel material, the iron material came in existence. In fact, steel and iron are different. So, iron material came in existence through this activity of the people of the past time people, the historical evolutionary people of the past. So, from that time the mining started, the people started digging out that particular iron ore, and nowadays you know that mining has gone to the extent of not only metallic ores, but it has gone to the extent of cementing minerals, then special minerals like mica and what not. And of course, on the fuel side, if you see, coal mining is one of the oldest industry, after that petroleum industry came. So, due to all these activities, the dust and aerosol and smoke particles are bound to get dispersed in atmosphere and pollute the atmosphere up to such an extent that it can't be consumed. The air can't be consumed by the existing lives on the earth of its full extent. Full extent means beneficially, it cannot be consumed. Rather, it will be carrying the polluted air is carrying the unwanted elements in the form of dust and aerosol. Aerosol is a liquid particle which floats in the air, or the smoky particle which floats in the air. Of course, smoke is also solid, but of course, and the diesel or petrol which we are using in large scale, that also comes out through the silencers of the equipments or engines in the air, and that gets dispersed in the form of small tiny particles, and that floats in the air along with the solid dust particles, and that liquid particle is called aerosol. That liquid particle sometimes gets combined with, that gets coated on the solid dust also, and that both gets floating, and that is also aerosol. Now, so the dust pollutions can be classified as physical and chemical, and the third row from the top is about the causes, and second row is about the types. So, physical and chemical, and you can see the further classifications of chemical pollution is pulmonary, means which disturbs the heart and the heartbeats, nervous system, memory, IQ loss. There are some solid particles when which goes to the through the breathing of the air, it goes inside and it gets sometimes infused in the blood, then it is causing the neuro problem. Neuro means the nervous problem, and memory loss, and of course, the intelligence of the people, that also diminishes. So, you can see the gas in smokes. As I told, aerosol. Aerosol is basically the liquid coated or liquid particles itself of the coal. The coal contains so many small unwanted liquid particles, such as you know tar. Tar is very much part of coal only, and that comes in liquid form when it burns, and when it comes to atmosphere after cooling, it becomes semi gelatinous material, or maybe sometimes hard like solid also. So, that is one. Similarly, ethanol, methanol, there are so many particles coming, and ethanol particles are also coming in that due to vegetations. Similarly, there will be because sulfur is also there in coal. So, that is forming with groundwater, H2SO3, sulfurous acid, and in turn when it comes in contact with more of oxygen from the air, it will be forming H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, which is more stronger acid, but because of dilution by addition of extra water from the natural waters, it becomes dilute, but even then it acts. So, it is getting this, once the coal is getting burnt. So, these particles even these particles are forming aerosol, the liquid particles dispersed in the air. Similarly, gas, sulfur dioxide, CO2, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide gases are getting generated, produced from the use of explosives. You know that explosives are having two major bases. One is the nitroglycerin, in which also nitrogen is there, another is the ammonium nitrate, which is also having nitrogen. So, this nitrogen, when it comes out, when it reacts with oxygen while explosive blasts, it is forming complex form of NOx. NOx means there are 5 valencies of nitrogen and oxygen is having 2 valencies. So, it goes on forming NO, N2O, NO, N2O3, NO2, N2O5, like that, the 5 compounds. So, that has been symbolized by NOx, X, where varies from 1 to 5 anyhow. So, that is the thing, and the after effect of that is that the physiological effects are when it comes from acid rain, when it comes in the form of acid rain from the cloud, because the smokes and these sulfuric acid particles produced due to emission of SO2 goes high in the sky and gets contaminated with the cloud, and that causes the acid rain. Similarly, CO2, it is causing global warming. You know very well, CO2 is enclaving the earth, it is covering the earth more densely day by day because of more CO2 generations from the different industries and mankind activities. So, this CO2 when gets combined, it is very little soluble in water. So, it is forming H2CO3 carbonic acid, very little amount, but major problem is it is covering the entire earth more and more because of its heaviness property. Among the 3 major gases, nitrogen, oxygen and carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide is the heaviest gas, you know very well. So, that is forming the bottom layer of the earth and that is covering the earth. So, once the heat comes from sun in day hours due to radiation or whatever thermal heat, geothermal heat is there inside the earth from core of its the magma in core is there. So, that is already heated up, sometimes that also comes out in the form of volcanoes. So, the heat is also getting emitted from the earth side, whatever has been absorbed during day hours from the sun in the form of received in the form of radiation from the sun, but because of this CO2 covered, particularly night hours when the atmosphere is colder, then CO2 comes down more and more, and it is covering the surface of the earth more densely, and that is preventing the radiation of the heat from the earth, whatever has been absorbed during day hours, plus the geothermal radiation, it is stopping, it is hindering these two kinds of radiations. So, the surface is getting heated up and the atmosphere in contact with the surface of the earth is getting heated up, and that is called that is causing global warming day by day, which is increasing more because of the human increasing human activities. Now, third kind of pollution on the air pollution is the ozone layer depletion. You know very well what is happening ozone layer depletion because of that. Why it is being caused? It is being caused by chlorofluorocarbon gas, which is being used in abundance in huge quantity for cooling purpose, whether it is the AC air conditioners or whether it is air conditioning plant in the mines or elsewhere in other industries. There are so many food preserving industries chambers which is being made centrally cooled. So, that is also using CFC, that was using CFC, but nowadays this gas is banned. So, instead of that they have gone back to ammonia gas, through which they are cooling, or there are some other alternatives available chemically. So, those gases are being used. So, ozone layer depletion is another danger thing, because through which this ozone layer was basically the God made, you can say, the natural nature's protective shield, which was not allowing the ultraviolet ray to come from the sun to the earth. Ultraviolet ray, you know very well, it is very harmful to the skin of the people, and it causes cancer, skin cancer. So, this way the physiological effects are there to the people, the diminishing oxygen percentage for survival of the human beings as well as other creatures and the other vegetations on the earth. At the same time, we are cutting the trees. So, that was absorbing CO2. So, that is also causing imbalance. So, CO2 absorptions have gone down on the earth. So, global warming is increasing day by day manyfold because of three basic reasons. One is the human activities, fossil fuels, that means coal and petroleum products are being used for generating the energy for various purposes. That is one reason. Another reason is deforestation in large scale. Even Amazon forest is being endangered because of development, which is called the oxygen reserve of the earth. So, that is also getting depleted. And third thing, of course, the CO2 once increases, the radiation from the earth, the heat radiation from the earth does not work properly. So, that is causing the multiplicity in the problem of increasing global warming. So, this global warming is increasing the temperature of the atmosphere and it is affecting the air. So, these are the direct effects of various agents, various causes causing the air pollution. According to the International Standard Organization ISO 4225 clause of ISO 1994, dust is a small solid particle conventionally taken as those particles below 75 micrometers or micron, you can say, in a diameter, which settles out under their own weight, but which may remain suspended for some time. It is well understood. Though it may settle, there are particles that which does not settle, which are finer particles, say 1 to 10 micron, that is not getting settled so easily because of velocity in the air, the natural velocity, the flow of the air inside on the earth, surface of the earth. Similarly, according to the glossary of atmospheric chemistry terms, Union of Passive Active Chemistry 1990, dust is small dry solid particles projected into the air by natural forces such as wind, volcanic eruptions, and by mechanical or man made processes such as crushing, grinding, milling, drilling, grinding, crushing, and of course, demolition, shoveling, conveying, screening, bagging. Here the drilling means the drilling in the mines, okay? And milling, of course, milling is also the size reduction process in the mining area. Drilling, then crushing is very much important for size reduction. So, these are the activities all in mining. So, conveying, screening etcetera, these are all activities in mining. Even bagging is the activity. Bagging means where cement plant is there. So, along with limestone mine there is a cement producing plant also, at the end of which there is bagging of very fine cement material. Cement materials are very fine in size, that means 300 mesh and below. Okay. So, 300 mesh means 1 inch length is divided in 300 square houses. So, 1 by 300 inch you can say. So, 1 by 300 inch multiplied by 25. So, how much it is becoming? 1 by 12th. So, 1 mm 12th part is there, and that is even finer than that. The cements are even going up to 500 mesh and below. So, that is causing dust generation while getting packed in the bags. Dust particles are usually in the size range of about 1 to 100 micrometer in diameter, and they settle slowly under the influence of gravity. May not also when the wind is turbulent, wind is not still. Normally wind is never still, it is having some turbulence. So, the particle of 1 to 100 micron in diameter, out of that maybe around 50 micron. See, this micron mu or mu m, both are same thing, micrometer and mu written are notionally same thing, notations are same, meaning is same. 1 micron means 1 micron means 1 by 1 million, 1 million means 1 after that 6 zeros, that much of meter. If you convert it to 1000 millimeters forming 1 meter. So, 1000 by 1 million means 1 by 1000 millimeter, that means 1 mm particle is divided into 1000 particles. So, each particle is forming 1 micron size, that is the diameter, and they settle slowly under the influence of the gravity, but not all, particularly from 1 to 25 microns are not so easy to settle down. Some types of pneumoconiosis according to dust and lung reactions. The dust in the atmosphere, whether it is going to have chemical effect on the physiology, both are causing danger to the human being health wise. So, one of the physical properties of the dust is, that means its physical risk of inhalation in the human body are like this. The asbestosis forms asbestos fiber, these are fibrous particles. I will tell you what is fiber. So, asbestosis it is causing it is fibrosis. The asbestosis particle is getting clinged to the inner surface of the lungs, and it is causing fibrosis. Fibrosis means it is cutting the cells of the lungs, and particular cell is getting blown to tumor or cancerous malignant nodules inside the lungs, and that is causing the cancer. Similarly, silicosis, these are the names of the diseases, though everything is fibrosis. Coal is causing coal pneumoconiosis, it is also fibrosis. Beryllium dust is causing beryllium disease, that is also fibrosis. Then tungsten is causing fibrosis, it is called hard metal disease. Okay. This is just the general names given in the industry. Iron is causing siderosis, tin is causing staniosis. Similarly, barium is causing berylosis. Okay. So, but these last two are not the fibrosis, last three, and above that everything is fibrosis. So, fibrosis means it is clinging to the, it is getting stuck after going inside the lungs. It is getting clinging to the, it is clinging to the inner layer of the lungs, and it is causing because of its sharpness, it is very fine particle, its sharpness, it has got the blade action to damage the cells, body cells inside the lungs, in the inner wall of the lungs, and it is causing gradually to the cell is getting damaged, and it is converting to tumor and cancer. There is a general notation. Notation means how do you define the dust size? So, they call it particulate matter. Particulate matter means the dust particles. Now, there is a convention of writing this thing, giving the size of the particulate matter. Anything PM in capital suffix say 10 means 10 micron and below dust. Similarly, PM 2.5 means suffixes means at the bottom it is written, like you write O2 oxygen, you write O capital O and bottom you are writing 2. Similar way it is written PM 2.5, 2.5 means 2.5 micron and below particles, and the diagram shows the hair size. Hair size is around 70 micron. So, 70 micron, how it is shown with respect to the sand particles of the sea beaches, fine sand of the sea beaches, it has been compared just. So, that 70 microns, so 1/7 of that is forming 10 microns. So, that 10 microns and below up to 2.5 microns are dangerous for the human consumptions of air. Particles pollution includes, see this is all what I have explained just now. How much is small is 2.5 microns, micrometers, mu m, or whatever is the, you write simply mu, that is micron, meaning is that. Think about a particle here, it is just a comparison. Effects of various dust on health. The size of the particles is directly linked to their potential for causing health problems. Small particles less than 10 micrometers or micron in diameter pose the greatest problems, because they can get deep into your lungs and some may even get into your blood streams, that is most dangerous. Exposure, particularly when manganese dusts are going in the blood stream, that is causing the problem of nervous system getting damaged and also memory getting diminished, affected adversely. Exposure to such particles can affect both your lungs and your heart both. Numerous scientific studies have linked particle pollution exposure to a variety of problems, including premature death in a people, heart lung disease, non-fatal heart attacks may also happen. Non-fatal means which will not cause the death, fatal means which causes the death. Irregular heartbeat means, of course, you know the heartbeat is 72 per minute, but if it is too high it is dangerous, because heart has to work more. Similarly, it is too less, okay, below say 40, that means heart is not properly functioning. Similarly, aggravated asthma. Aggravated asthma, you understand, asthma means the windpipe of the throat and lungs below are getting infected. In decreased lung functions, when the particle settles and clinges to the inner part of the earth, inner part of the lungs, then because of these particles are stone in nature, tough in nature, these are causing the lung flexibility reduced, and once the lung flexibility is reduced, in one breath the oxygen taken inside the body is less, and because of that less volume gone, the body gets adversely affected. Increased respiratory symptoms such as irritation of the airways, coughing or difficulty breathing. People with heart or lung diseases, children and older adults are most likely to be affected by particle pollution exposure. Sources of particulate matter in mines. These particles come in many sizes and shapes, which can be from hundreds of chemicals may be also there. Some are emitted directly from source such as drilling, blasting, loading, shovel, transportation on haul roads, where tire mounted machines are running, particularly on untarred roads and bare earth roads, where that means it is not properly cemented or RCC roads are not there. Crushing and screening, grinding, etc. Crushing, these are the mining activities which are mainly responsible for dust generations. Drilling, blasting, loading from shovel, transportation on haul roads, untarred bare earth roads, that means the roads which are not made pakka or which is not cemented or RCC work is not there or there is no tarring. So, there will be more dust generations if it is a bare road, granite that is called the laterite road. Crushing and screening, grinding etc., you know very well, crushing, screening, grinding, these are all size reductions. So, dusts are bound to generate. Drop points from conveyors and feeders from the bins, wherever metal is falling on the stack, it is everywhere, right from crusher where dumping is taking place to the discharge point of the products, everywhere there is dust generation. Wherever there is the then loading point, that is a basic thing, because in processing plant most of the time the ores are or coal is becoming wet. So, there is not much of dust generation when the product is falling. When it is getting transported to the loading site, loading siding, siding where the loading takes place, there it is getting dried up and it is again generating dust while falling from the conveyor systems etc. Most aerosol particles are formed in the atmosphere as a result of complex reactions of chemicals such as sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, which are pollutants emitted from burning of diesel. Fossil fuels means burning of fossil fuel means coal, and coal was extensively being used in boilers in the past time. Nowadays boilers are getting eliminated, but even then in thermal power plants the coal burning is most common. Without the purpose is that the thermal power generation. So, coal has to be used in large quantity for generating the superheated steam and supersaturated steam and superheated steam, which will be going into the blades of the turbine to generate electricity. So, coal field fires etc., is also causing additional addition of the different types of gases like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, H2S, or sometime H2S is coming out most of the time from the metal mines, that is not coming from coal mines, because hydrogen sulfide is there is no carbon attached to that. These are the gases coming out. Use of explosives from nitroglycerin ammonium nitrate bases, that as I have explained already in the previous slide. Next, what are the harmful effects of particulate matter? Particulate matter contains microscopic solids or liquid droplets, aerosol, as I said in the previous slide, that are so small that they can be inhaled and cause serious health problems. Some particles are less than 10 micrometers, that means 10 micron in diameter, can get deep into your lungs, and some may even get into your bloodstream. Of these particles are less than 2.5 micrometers, that means which are going to the bloodstream through inhalation system and through the lungs. These are particulate matters below 2.5 microns in diameter, also known as fine particles of PM 2.5, that means below 2.5 micron, pose the greatest risk to health. Fine particles are also the main cause of reduced visibility, because rather it is forming the hazy atmosphere in the on the traffic roads, the visibility is poor. Similarly, it happens in the mines also, particularly in open cast mines, where the traffic is most common, like by having dumpers plying on the roads. Many of our treasured national parks, and of course, this is a public problem, in the work environment include mineral dust such as those containing free crystalline silica like quartz. These are the tough particles which forms fiber, and silica is causing the silicosis. The name of fibrosis caused by silica is called silicosis. Coal is called pneumoconiosis. The fibrosis from coal is called pneumoconiosis, and cement dust, of course, this is also lime and silica particles. So, this will be also coming under silicosis problem. Metallic dust such as lead, cadmium, nickel and beryllium, and also manganese, which I have not added here, I will be adding in your final slide. So, manganese dust are also very dangerous. Other chemical dust like many chemicals, and maybe I have added manganese, no, it is not here. Organic and vegetable dust such as flour, wood, cotton, these are in agriculture problem, not in mining. What are the remedies made? What are the remedials used to control the dust in the atmosphere? So, again PDCA cycle is most common. You first plan to what method you are going to adopt, then do means implement that, then check the after effect of implementing the steps, then adjust whatever is more or less. If it is more, I mean to say the pollution has been not eliminated to the extent of expectation, up to then in that case we have to adjust the parameter of implementing procedure and the agencies mean the machines etcetera, or whatever norms are to be changed, that is adjusted, and again we have to plan, then do and check and adjust till the final expected result is achieved. See, here the current conditions to desired conditions we have to make a journey. So, the criteria, standards, laws and policies are to be set about the pollution control, problem identification and its definition. We have to identify the problem of dust generation. We would like to suppress the dust generation at the point of generation only. If not possible, then on the way of emission where it is getting emitted. Then if it is also not possible, then publicly there are some other ways, I will show you one by one. So, priority allocations we have to give which method to be adopted, solution generation, then we will solve the problem by implementation of that method, solution generation how to mitigate the dust generation, we have to write the method, choice of solution, which method we have to adopt, implementation, implement the method, then monitoring and evaluation of effects. I was telling you PDCA cycle, okay. Plan, do, check and adjust. So, here monitoring and evaluation effects means adjusting, you are monitoring and adjusting, and again planning, go back from adjust to again back to plan and then re-implement it till this cyclic process goes on until you are getting the desired result. See, I was talking about the methodology, which method to be adopted. If the whole mining is made wet, then there is no chance of dust generation at all. So, here is one of the examples. In underground mining also hydroleaking is used, but in alluvial deposit only, where the sandy deposit is there, which can get dislodged by the jet of the water. The jet of the water is around 10 bar, it functions at around 10 bar, means 10 kg per centimeter square. So, it is working at that pressure, and if it is more of the pressure, better. Once the ore material is getting dislodged, it is passed through the sluices. Sluices means a decanting, sedimenting and decanting tank, and the decanted water goes from outside to the nature back. So, the whole water is carrying the mineral, the heavier mineral is getting deposited at the bottom of this sedimentation tank and decantation tank, and after decantation the clear water is going out. Again that water is recirculated to preserve the water and to reduce the pumping cost of the water from the natural resources, and also to abide by the law of the nation. So far pollutions are concerned, that water pollution, that means you are depleting the natural sources in large quantity, that should be reduced to the extent of 70% by recycling, and that is possible. This is one of the methods where coal mining is not done underground. It is simply the boreholes are made in the coal seam, intermediate boreholes are made, which has been not shown in this diagram, or the borehole, there are two boreholes made, one borehole is for passing the hot steam or the hot gas, hot flue gas. Hot flue gas means which does not contain the reducers like CO, it should not have the carbon monoxide, otherwise it will reduce the coal at the bottom. No, that is not desirable. I do not want to produce CO2 inside the seam. I want to take out the from the seam by very limited oxygen supply, which is already there in the air, and that is going along with the hot air or steam inside the coal, and the coal is getting coal seam is getting heated up to develop the fissures and cracks for allowing the passing of the gas, this hot gas, hot flow of the gas. That hot gas is at around the 300 degrees centigrade, it is preheated through the brick checker work on the top, and that preheated may be electric heating system may be also there through the arc etc. So, after heating up, the gas is flown into the coal seam, that coal seam cracks are developed between the two boreholes from the green borehole and the gas outlet shown with the red hole. So, between that there is a borehole, there are some boreholes made and through which the explosives are lowered to have a limited blast made in the coal seam. So, that the coal seam cracks allows the hot air to pass from the green borehole, from the green axis, and it passes through the seam and then it collects the, see, under the limited oxygen it produces CO. CO means which is also flammable gas, and of course, CH4 trapped in the coal seam that comes out from the red chimney, red borehole, and it is directly getting tapped and utilized in the on the surface by a thermal power plant. So, there is no coal burning outside, only gas we are burning and the least dust is generated. So, method is adopted. It is not so popular in India, but definitely in foreign countries. So far coal dust generation emission has to be reduced. This is major method shift. We are thinking, everybody thinks of coal mining where the pollution consciousness is there. This is leaching of ore for metal mining. So, this leaching of ore means the unwanted element is dissolved by the chemical, or else the wanted element is dissolved. Unwanted element or compound is also dissolved and taken out from, that is the first thing. But most of the time if you do not want to do underground mining, we do not want to leave ore inside. So, we want to dissolve the metal content of the ore, whether it is in the oxide form or whatever form. So, that should come out. The gold is not of the that does not form any oxide. So, leaching of gold is done by cyanide, dilute cyanide that dissolves to make the gold aurous cyanide. Okay. So, that is coming out from the central hole, from two sides of holes it is being penetrated inside, it is being pumped into the ore deposit and the dissolved ore is coming from the central hole, and there is no mining in underground. So, there is no dust generation in underground and no problem, etc. What is fiber? Fibrous dust such as asbestos and other such metals I have already told you, but here the definition says that particle with diameter less than 3 micron, and length is more than 5 micron, and the aspect ratio, what is aspect, length to width greater than or equal to 3:1. This is called fiber of the particle. This is as per the Whose definition, okay? And it includes asbestosis and whatever silicosis and those all particles. According to ISO and the European Standards Organization, definition of the inhalable, thoracic and respirable dusts fractions are there. So, whatever is what is inhalable dust, anything below 10 micron, that is PM10 and below, is the inhalable dust, which can be inhaled inside through the nose and which goes to the windpipe, etc. Thoracic particulate fraction, what is this? This is lesser than, this is between PM10 to PM2.5, that means it is lesser than 10 micron size in diameter, but more than 2.5 micron diameter, and these particles are called thoracic. Thoracic means the windpipe which is getting trapped in the windpipe area, and respirable particles, particulate fractions, that is below 2.5 micron to 0.1 micron. So, these dusts, these are the dusts going inside the lungs directly from the thoracic part, that means from the windpipe, it goes inside the lungs chamber. So, this particle, the 2.5 and below is most dangerous, please, 2.5 micron and below is most dangerous. This is the diagram. See, nasal cavity, from there the red portion is the inhalation zone, then the trachea shown, that is the zone where the windpipe is there, and after that lungs means the red portion, and the section of the lungs, the small bronchus means that is the last end of the network of pipes which is taking oxygen into the lungs and getting mixed with the blood. So, that is called the bronchus. So, and pleura is the lungs layer which separates from other part of the body. So, types of fibers you can see the plastic fibers and man made mineral fibers are there. So, these are affecting lungs, these are affecting the oceanic lives like fishes and those all the pisciculture people the piscicultural creatures. It is also affecting the vegetations. So, that has been shown on the top. Airborne capability of fibers. See here the fiber length is more, its air it is becoming sedimented more easily. If it is less, it is getting suspended in the air. So, airborne means remaining in the air for longer time. So, that is called the capability. Okay. If the some particle is remaining for more time, it is more capable of getting airborne. If it is remaining for lesser time and settling down in the air, that is called lesser capable airborne particles. Fiber characters. Airborne fiber particles were detected in the urban microplastics and man made. Approximately 80% of the fiber particles are smaller than 20 micron. Plastic construction in of course, these are not concerned to mining much. DGM is circular of respirable silica. This is important to know about the things. See, maximum exposure limit have been prescribed in the USA, and MEL, that is maximum exposure limit, is prescribed as 2 microgram in air. It should be there per meter cube for 8 hours time. Weighted average, provided the concentration of the silica in the respirable dust remains less than 5%. In case of the percentage of silica content in the respirable dust exceeds 5, the MEL is calculated to be divided by 10 by the percentage of silica content in the respirable dust. Okay. That means, for every increase of silica in the air more than 5%, there is a calculation formula given. They are so much concerned. India, the MEL is prescribed 3 milligram per meter cube of the for 8 hours exposure of the worker. 3 milligram means suppose it is becoming 4 milligram, next hour it should become 2 milligram, then only average is coming 3. So, these are the again physiological effects of dust. 5 main types of industrial dust collectors are there: inertial separators, fabric filters, wet scrubbers, unit collector and electrostatic precipitators. So, out of this the most common are wet scrubbers and electrostatic precipitators and also unit collector. Inertial separators are also there, I will come to that. Inertial separators are hydrocyclones, that is called pneumatic dust collectors, not hydrocyclones. Hydrocyclones are in case of liquids. So, pneumatic cyclones are the inertial separators. Similarly, fabric filters means through the filters like butt of the cigarette, the butt of the cigarette, Will's filter cigarette. What is the filter? That is fabric filter. Similarly, wet scrubbers is like hookah. When you are smoking through the hookah, then what happens? Through the hookah, the smoke comes inside, water is there, the pipe is immersed in water, and other side pipe which you are putting mouth on is above the water level. So, once you pull the air, the bottle is sealed. So, once you pull the air, the bubble comes from the smoke side, goes into the water, water traps the dust particles, and the clear air, I mean to say clear air comes from the in the form of gas above the surface of the water, and it goes to your mouth, or then it is not harmful. Wet scrubbers, it is a sort of cleaning the gas by spraying, cleaning the air by spraying. If you spray water, fine misted water, it will be trapping the dust particles, and dust particles will become heavy, it will settle down. What is unit collector? Unit collectors are also like this. Unit collectors are there like your centrifuge, then another is called the century dust collectors. Electrostatic precipitators are the electrostatically charged plates which are attracting the particles, like in your house when you are combing, the plastic attracts the paper, etc. sometimes. Similarly, it becomes electrostatically charged due to electrical supply to the plates, and that is collecting the dust and not allowing the dust to go out. This is a typical electric dust collector, electrostatic dust collector. The left side wire is from the left side upper side, the wire is directly going down, and there is a bob or plate which is there inside the collector, where the from the left side bottom portion you can say the dry gas is passing into that, the emission which is polluted gas, that is that dust particles are getting the body of the dust collector is zero charge, it is earth, so that it does not give shock to the people working there, but it is also forming equally the zero potential voltage, whereas the positive charge coming from the upper side to the wire, centrally suspended wire, at the bottom portion there is a bob. So, that is positively charged. So, that is getting the particles arrested to that, and the bottom portion of the dust collector is opened time to time to allow the dust collected go out, and the upper side right hand side, you can say upper side right hand side, the pure gas or the purified gas emission is already there, which is shown from the right hand side exit. So, these are the advantages: pressure drop and hence power requirement is small, 2.9% efficiency obtainable, it is very good, can handle both gases and mists, that means water or acidic aerosol also it can trap, can be operated at high temperatures and pressure, for industry it is good. This is hydrocyclone. On left hand side top portion you can see this is a conical vessel, and it is water is getting injected under pressure, the air with the dust is getting injected by the pressure, it is at higher pressure, maybe around 10 bar or 12 bar or 15 bar even, under that pressure it is coming inside and it is forming a cyclone. You can see the rotation cyclone, it is if you can see from the top it is anti-clockwise, okay? It is clockwise from the top, and when it goes to the bottom the coarser dust fall from the bottom, because when the air comes up after getting filled up from the narrow portion, a little is going out along with the dust from the bottom, the coarser dust from the bottom, and the finer dust it is going with a central column of the air anti-clockwise, sorry clockwise. So, both outer rotation and inner rotation of the gas current is opposite to each other. So, because of the opposite gas and opposite gas currents, outer current and inner current, the particles are getting differentiated, it is getting mechanically, and it is falling, and some of the fine particles it is falling down from the bottom, and the fine particles are going away from the top portion. So, that fine particles will be again passed through some other scrubber system, wet scrubber system, as I said, like hookah system, and the pure gas will go out. This is Venturi type. From the central part a Venturi pipe is coming through the, and it is forming a small orifice at the tip, the V shape orifice you can see centrally at the center part of the big pipe. The big pipe, the air is coming from the left hand side, the bigger side, from there the air is coming, air is getting flown, and the Venturi is that is the high pressure air coming from that. So, the pressure is there on the top, already 10 ks is shown. So, that pressure through the Venturi causes a very big forceful air to come out, which is causing the fine dust to go out and the coarser dust falling in the conical air is coming out. See, this is water sprinkling on the road in the mines from the water sprinkler dumper. This is also water sprinkling on road for dust suppression in open cast mines. Next, these are all used in open cast mines and also in underground ramp mining, through which the LHD and dumpers combinations are there to take out the ore from the underground, like in Jawar Hindustan Zinc Limited and also Hindustan Copper Limited Khetri copper mines. This is also water sprinklers. This is the method for purifying the air adopted in New Delhi by Kejriwal government, AAP government, state government. They have brought the air purifiers at different squares, which is called chowks in Hindi. So, there it is installed and it is working on both chemical as well as centrifuge principle. That means, the dusts are getting physically separated, at the same time the chemicals are also getting absorbed, the chemical aerosols in the air is getting absorbed by the chemicals kept inside, like like suppose if it is acidic aerosol particle, it has to be absorbed in calcium carbonate column. Just I am giving one example. So, glass wools are also there to arrest the dust particles. So, this is huge dust column air purifier column in New Delhi. Different types of sampling techniques, of course, I will not go in detail. This is just for your theory classes. Grab sampling is what it is just given there. It is not that it is just one time sampling, just one moment it has been sampled. So, but it is not useful, because the DGMS rule says 3 milligram per meter cube air should be there on an average for 8 hours exposure, okay, provided 5% silica is there, not more than that. So, grab sampling is not going to give you good result, reliable result. Passive and active sampling. Active sampling is providing you the passive, the grab sampling is passive sampling, whereas active sampling is for 8 hours and continuously 24 hours sampling is done, and it is averaged to 8 hours and seen that whether first shift exposure was okay or not of the workers in the dusty atmosphere. This is the air sampler which is portable, which is fitted on the worker's body, that is why it is called personal data RAM PDR dust sampler, which is giving direct digital record of the dust. This is the dust record of PDR driven at different zones of transferring, transportation and then loading, etc. Gravimetric dust samplers are the dust samplers in which filters are there, which is allowing, which has got double filters. One is allowing only 10 minus 10, that is PM10 particles to go inside. Another is trapping the particles at PM 2.5, which are dangerous for the human body. So, these two dusts are arrested, and after taking the before starting the sampler, we take the weight of the filter paper, and after collection of the dust over a period of time, say 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, then again we take out the particularly the PM2 filter we take out, and that is filtered, and both are taken the weight, and after that we are finding PM10 and PM2.5, between that the dust particles which are dangerous to human being. High and low volume samplers, again these are 24 hour samplers are there. Next, total suspended particles means over a period of 8 hours what is total suspended particles of all types, chemical, aerosol or whatever, or even the silicon dust, that is total. Then air quality sensors are there, protect the environment, employers must be properly taken care. Total suspended particulate matter has been already told you what is it. Types of gravimetric air sampler. This is a small portable gravimetric dust sampler, which is used inside the mines. Taking it is very easy inside the mine. This is the gravimetric dust sampler. At the center portion you can see, and clockwise direction a pump is rotating, air pump, which is inhaling the air from the top where the filters are there. Again PM2 to PM2.5 trapping is there of the air on the top filter. That filter is weighed before and after the experiment, and the dust trapped is measured, but it can take the 24 hours load of the dust sampling continuously. This is the PDR locations, how it has been done. Then gravimetric dust sampler where the dust to be collected like that and sampled, where the worker is working, there it should be known. So, the role of PDR is most important to know, because it is adhered to the body of the worker, and it is giving to the location, exact location where worker is working, the dust concentration. How the ozone layer is affecting? See, the troposphere at the bottommost portion is getting affected because of for global warming, and this is most dangerous thing. What is the effect of global warming? See, why the global warming is happening, these are the reasons shown which have been discussed already. See, the global warming means it is causing the fire in the forest, it is causing the drought in the farmland, it is causing tsunami when the cyclone is coming, when there is a deglaciation, this is causing that means the glaciers are melting and more water is coming to the sea surface area is increasing because of more water coming, and more clouds are getting formed, and that is causing more of the rain. On the other hand, the people have degraded the land by cutting the trees which were holding the lands. So, the landslide takes place because no more trees are there, roots to hold the lands, and more rain is there because of global warming. So, both are combining together to form the landslides which is happening in Himachal Pradesh etcetera very commonly every year. Then eruption of the volcanoes are also giving getting caused because of more heat increasing. Then cyclones are coming, tornadoes are coming in America very commonly. Ozone layer depletion I have already discussed about this. These are the basic reasons, and the effect is ultraviolet rays mainly should not come to earth. It will cause the destruction of the mankind on the earth if it starts coming in large. Thanks to all.